Hey guys, Iris here. I just wanted to come up here and say some stuff, specifically about Danny's World. Now, we all played Danny's World at one point, but recently things has in Danny's World has recently just been kind of boring. For example, recently the Tune of the Week event came out, where the Tune of the Week was Sprout Week. However, with that in the quest for a golden skin was kind of a bit unnecessary and felt a little rushed, to be honest. For example, what was the purpose of buffing the RNG for Twisted Sprout? For example, what I mean by this is that whenever you're playing Dandy's World just to complete the quest, when you notice something is that Sprout was easy to get on your floor, like around floor 6, 5 to 10, but like ever since this update came out, it's been like 425 just to recently get him, and it's solely based on luck, and I find that kind of annoying, to be honest, because again, he was that easy to get on your floor. However, with the new update that just happened, it's just been harder as balls to freaking get him. And another thing is that what was the purpose of updating Sprout's bot to like stand in front of posters that have him on it and or stop and follow Cosmo around if you have Twisted Cosmo on your floor? Cause it would also defeats that purpose is the fact that distractors, yes, even though distractors was never necessarily in the game or was supposed to be in the game, but people just found that way and people just been going on from there. It just makes that whole update pointless because distractors are just going to just take Cosmo and Sprout away, so you wouldn't even see the whole interaction together happening. Because again, they're just going to get distracted and just, you wouldn't even notice it. And another thing, the whole him looking at a poster thing kind of destroys its purpose, especially during let's say like have to go offline for a moment, like go AFK, you go into this specific room. But however, when you realize what some posters of Sprout on there are mostly like in the AFK room, so that makes his Sprout's bot to go in to those rooms to find it. And if he notices you in the room, he's going to kill you, which kind of throws the entire purpose of the freaking AFK spot to be pointless. Because his bot is going to track into that room that his poster is in, and he's going to notice you in there, and he's going to kill you. Basically throwing your entire run off, because again, not everyone is going to be on Dandy's World for like hours on end, and sometimes they need a break, but they wouldn't want to leave the game, so they would go into an AFK spot for a moment to do something. But now, since with this new whole like buff with Twisted Sprout, it kind of makes that hard now. And I've noticed a lot of people are like quitting the game because of certain events that happen that people just found it boring and not want to do anymore. Now, there's another thing that I want to talk about, and that is the skin obsessions. No surprise, Quell really loves her skins, because I really don't remember how many skins are necessarily in the game, but I just know that there's a lot. But the problem lies is that it's okay to like the skins, however, it's just she adds so much of them in there. Like, for example, every skin that sometimes comes out are usually matching with each other, specifically with Sprout and Cosmo, which honestly, I think this is just feeding into the fruitcake shippers, and I just find that extremely annoying. In general, it's just fucking annoying. But the thing is, every skin that comes out, it's always matching with each other, specifically with Sprout and Cosmo. Now, the only skin that is not matching with each other is the snow skin that is actually Cosmo matching with Ginger. You pay 200 Robux for. However, another skin that is also not matching with each other is the Star Time skin, where Sprout is matching with the other mains, but not with Cosmo, so thank God for that. But another thing is how many freaking skins there are, specifically for Yada and Pebble, but it's Yada to be exact. She has like so many skins compared to everyone, which, to be honest, I feel like the person who would have more skins would possibly be Glisten, because he's known to be the the charismatic and dramatic one, and he loves like being like fashionable and stuff like that. I figured that it would make sense that he would have the most skins, but no, it's Yada. And generally, what comes into mind is quantity over quality. I say this because it is just noticed that Quell wants to add more things into the game rather than already going off on what she has in the game. For example, instead of like fixing like different bugs and like other sort of issues with the gameplay, she focused heavily onto the cosmetics of the game, and it kind of just throws everything off, and people don't really want to be in that game because it's just becoming increasingly boring, because again, she focused heavily on the skins rather than the actual gameplay.
And it's the spawning. We all agree that the RNG in this game is butt booty buns. I say this because I noticed some people are still struggling with some events spawning. I still see people having incomplete research for Bobette and or Bassie. Quell said that she fixed this, but did she? Like, I really don't see any difference because I still see like pretty bad spawning, because one time I was still getting Bassie and it took like floor freaking 30 to get Bassie, if not even higher. It's just no, she did not fucking fix it. It's still pretty bad, because to this day it's still pretty bad. It's still pretty much based on luck and makes people give up on even trying. That's kind of why the first Christmas and our Easter event came out. A lot of people just left the game,
specifically the old players, because if you noticed, the majority of the people who are playing, you notice how some people are playing as Boxin' or Poppy, because they are most likely new to this game, because it's no doubt that all the old players just left, because she caters so much on with the newer players instead of just going on with the old ones, so they just leave. And these players would actually leave to go and just move on and play a different game, such as Dolly's Factory, or the new upcoming game, Toon Universe, and or even Twilight Zone. That one game that also follows scrutiny because a lot of people are still saying that Twilight Zone is just a rip-off copy of Dandy's World, which, yes, the designs are way similar. Yes, the gameplay is exactly identical, but there's a difference between just blatant copying and stealing than actually inspiration. All I can say is Twilight Zone is a inspiration of Dandy's World, not a copy. I mean, yes, it's a copy, but it's not a rip-off for like money purposes. It's just a inspirational game, along with Dolly's Factory and Toon Universe. They all follow the category of inspiration, not stealing. And I'm so tired of people saying that it's like they're stealing it or it looks similar to Dandy's World. Of course it fucking is. It's a freaking inspirational game. Alright, I get really pissed off about that because I'm just tired of people like freaking glazing Quell for like the idea of Dandy's World, which you gotta remember, Dandy's World was inspired by an already established game called Dead by Daylight. Let's not forget about that, guys. This video is pretty long, so I am going to end this part of the video for now until the next video comes out as a part 2. But I just want to give the first half of this video the segment, so I believe there's 3 segments. And I'm going to say this is, do not go and harass Quell and or her team. This is all just my opinion of my criticism towards the game, and you do not have to agree with me. I just want to give out my specific side of everything and what everything's going on with this game. This is not a direct attack towards Quell or the team. Just me giving simple criticism in my own opinion. And sorry if I do come off mad or angry or a little bit mean. That wasn't my goal. It's just I get really pissed off for stuff like this, and again, I have really bad anger problems, but that doesn't mean I I'm not a bully or any way. I chose not to be a bully, so sorry if I do sound a bit mean when I say this, especially since I cuss a lot. But that is not my intentional purpose of being mean. But anywho, again, do not go and attack Quell or harass her team, or her to be exact, because she's already dealing with enough stuff. But again, this is just me criticizing the game, not specifically her herself. But if you want me to make a part 2 to this, let me know, and more videos will be coming out soon. So anyways, this concludes this part of the video, and this is Zen Kitty signing out.